Can you guess what we're making today, guys? I'll give you a clue. Hella top, hella bottom, hallelujah in the middle. If you guessed the pudding, then you are absolutely right. Today we'll be making some Jamaican sweet potato pudding, one of my favorites. But I must say we should be calling this pudding an everything pudding because in it they added green plantain. I didn't know green plantain could be added in puddings, you know. I'm from the younger generation, so for me I always thought it was just sweet potato and spices nonetheless. So I learned some very important things about pudding making. As usual, thank you for being here. It means a lot. If you have not subscribed yet, it would be much appreciated for you to hit that subscription button. Hit your notification bell as well if you'd like to just get notification every time we do a video. This channel aims to showcase the beautiful culture of Jamaica, from the simple everyday living to the grand road adventures with the waterfalls and the rivers and the, those hidden gems. But it also shows you just the simple everyday living, things that we take for granted and think they're not magical. This channel aims to showcase that there is beauty in simplicity. Now, with all of that being said, let's make some pudding. Remember when I said this is really an everything pudding? Well, this is the first ingredient of the everything. This is cassava that's being peeled, and later on you'll see that coconut will be added, carrot and green plantain, which I found very fascinating. It's really the case of whatever is there, if it can be used, it will be used. So I like how resourceful the Jamaican culture is. We're not ever limited to one ingredient for a dish. So you'll find most dish that is traditionally known for this ingredient, Jamaicans will be like, you know what, let's throw in 2 of this or throw in 3 of that, and bet your bottom dollars that it will come out tasting just the same or even better than what is traditionally used. Next up, we've got some green plantain, and this was the shocker for me. I was just like, wait, I could see the cassava because it seems like a close relative of the sweet potato, but I was just like, a green plantain, and then lo and behold I saw a carrot as well, and I was just like, I see what this is. This is one of them real all-in-one Jamaican pudding, and I was really excited for it, and I was anticipating to taste how all the flavors would come together. You could see the cassava, you can see the sweet potato, the carrots, the plantain, and then later on you'll see how the coconut will be used. The trash will not be used, but rather the juice from the coconut will be that base liquid for the pudding, mixed with all the spices that you see, the rose and almond, the vanilla. We'll be adding some raisins and some rum. So look at that mixture, beautiful. Look at that bright orange. So it's time to set up this mixture of the coconut juice. So let's get to it. This was a mixture of cinnamon leaf, cinnamon powder, vanilla, nutmeg, all boiling together to be mixed with that coconut juice that I was mentioning earlier. So they mean business when they say Jamaicans love their spices. This is what they mean, and you'll see that rich brown color coming out from the cinnamon leaves being boiled and the vanilla and the nutmeg powder. You'll see how everything kind of clump up together. Beautiful. You can smell it. When I was standing there, I could smell the cinnamon just rich, I tell you. So now right here you have the mixture with the coconut, that nutmeg, vanilla, boiling water that we had there. Everything's mixed together and will now be strained so that liquid can come out just as pure as it can. And they'll be straining this multiple times to make sure any impurities or any trash is thoroughly taken from the mixture, because you don't want any coconut trash. If a little gets in, that's fine, but in the grand scheme of things, you just want the liquid, because that's what you're going to use to mix in your flour and that grated mixture with the carrot and the plant and all that. So you'll see here he's juicing it again a second time to get out everything from the coconut trash, no stones left unturned. You juice it one time, your boy, you're gonna have to juice it again because you want it rich. You want to get out as much of the milk as you can. And so that's what he's doing. He's straining it a second time. Look at that. I wish you guys could smell it. Now, with all the juice extracted, that trash will more than likely be given to the pigs for a tasty little afternoon snack. And the liquid here will be strained one final time to get out any little tiny impurities or just to make it more refined one last time before they use it. And keep in mind, this liquid is warm. It's a warm, hot liquid because it was coming off the fire. So all of this, you have to be careful when you're doing this. And now for the fun part, we'll be adding sugar, spice, and everything nice. So we've got some rose and almond, some vanilla extract, and some sugar. And then later on, we'll be adding the flour and that starch mixture that was grated earlier. And I don't know if you noticed, but there were no measuring spoons or cups being used. Jamaicans, on the most times when we're doing traditional foods, we go by our heart, our eyes, and whatever the ancestors say. And now it's time to go ahead and add this liquid to our grated mixture with the carrot, the platen, and stuff. But first, we have to give it a good little mix to make sure everything is just evenly distributed, everything is well mixed together. I don't know about you, but that mixture looks tasty. Something about it looks like you could just take up a little and just give it a pop in your mouth. So he's mixing it up rather thoroughly. Like I said, beautiful color. You can just see how soft it looks, and then you'll go ahead and pour in that liquid and mix everything all together. be adding some cornmeal and the raisin rum mixture in this mixture here. That's what's going to give it that nice authentic Jamaican feel to it. That rum mixture with those raisins and prune, that's the stuff. Every Jamaican know that's the stuff. We'll go ahead also and add some flour to the mixture and then combine everything together, and then the process to get it all baked will be almost ready. But just before that, they have to make a very key part to help them in baking this pudding, and that's where it's going to get the phrase and the term hella top, hella bottom, hallelujah in the middle. And now this is the creative part of the pudding making process that I found particularly interesting. So puddings, the phrase hella top, hella bottom, hallelujah in the middle refers to that pudding being the hallelujah, that sweet stuff, and then you have fire on the top and fire at the bottom when it's being baked. Puddings are usually baked outside for this very same reason. I presume the top needs to be caramelized or baked just as well as the bottom, and to do this they take a sheet of zinc, or I guess there must be something that's structured for this type of baking, but for this purpose, when you don't have anything else, you just take a sheet of zinc, get your cutlass and something, and you are pretty much making an outline of the pot that you'll be using to bake the pudding in. You're making a makeshift cover to put over it, and the zinc will be able to withstand the coal that you'll put on it. Because my first question was, why are you guys making a pot cover when you can just use a pot cover that's already in existence? And they're like, no, because they need to put the coal and the fire and all that stuff on top, and so the pot cover, you can imagine that's not going to work too well. So this is it. Pretty interesting, pretty neat if you ask me. A very tedious process. There it is. Very tedious process for baking, but I guess when you make it one time, you have it for as long as you want whenever you'll be making puddings again. So now they'll be using a hammer and pound out those little ridges that you see, get it flat. That way the use is like a pot cover, but it still gives that function where it can tolerate the coals being put on top of it, which you'll see shortly. I thought this was pretty cool. So it's such a privilege to be able to share this with you guys, so I love doing this. It's a joy. Alright guys, we're now on the home stretch, so if you haven't subscribed by now, hit that button. So we're just greasing the pan with some butter, getting it ready to pour in that mixture to put on the fire, which you will see that hella top, hella bottom analogy that was being said. So we mix that, time to pour in the mixture and get it on the fire. Look at that. Who used to lick out the pudding pan when cake or bake or any little pastry or bake or your mama or grandma finish? You can't wait to get the pudding pan. I remember that used to be one of my favorite memories as a kid when I baking time. You're fighting over who want the big spoon, who want the pudding pan, who want the little mixer thing them that mix the liquid. Man, memories. So yeah, look at that mixer, everything out. Alright, so the fire is ready and this bad boy mixture is done. So now it's time to get it going. So on the fire it goes. We won't be using the cold stove today. So on you go. And then that lid that we made earlier with the zinc, they'll have it placed on top and also add some coal. So everything is baked evenly on the top, on the bottom, and then in the middle. There she is. There's a hallelujah. There's the fire, there's the hell going on top. There's the hell going on top. And the hell is at the bottom. And the hallelujah sits beautifully in the middle. So if somebody ever asks you, what would they mean when they say hell at top, hell at bottom, and hallelujah in the middle? They're talking about pudding, Jamaican pudding, sweet potato pudding, carrot pudding, plantain pudding. As far as I can see, anything pudding can be made. But so this is the pudding after about, I want to say 45 minutes, thereabout, to an hour. Don't quote me on that. So we're checking on it, and I remember asking how you know when pudding ready, and they said that when it starts to sink, when the pudding drop and sink, that's when you know it's ready. So right now they're just adding some of that. Remember that liquid that warm liquid that we had in the beginning with the nutmeg and the coconut juice? So they're putting some of this on the top so it can, I guess, steam it, cook it, and caramelize it again. But man, it got the job done, because coming up next, it's a feast. About the next 15-20 minutes, the pudding was ready, but we had to let it sit and cool before we cut it. And there she is in all her glory. You can see the raisin that we added, moist, nice. I love my pudding with a cup of cold milk. I hope this video brings back memories. I hope your mouth watered. I hope you enjoy the process. It was fun sharing it. Thanks for watching, guys. Pleasure as always. My name is Elaine, and until next time, be well, be good, be whatever.